Week 2 of the 2024 NFL season is underway. Last night, Thursday night football, the Bills and Dolphins. Let's talk about it. This is Rivet City Red Zone's Halftime Heat. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Rivet City Red Zone's Halftime Heat. And last night, week 2 of the NFL 2024 season kicked off. A huge AFC East matchup between the Bills and the Dolphins. We're going to talk about it here, but first, before we do, I got to remind everybody, head over to Rivet City Radio and Off the Top Media's Twitch and YouTube channels. Hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on. Check out all the great content going on throughout the network, throughout the week. Also, patreon.com/Rivet City Radio. I promise you will not be disappointed with all the content we have on there, and it will not break your bank. Last night, Thursday night football, the Bills and Dolphins kicked off week 2 of the 2024 regular season, and it did not go the way people thought it would go. Everybody thought, you know what, the Dolphins are the stronger team coming in, and on paper, you look at it, they are. They are the stronger team. But the Bills, they have a statement to make. Last week, came out, got a win, so the Dolphins. This week, everybody thought this is going to be another Tyreek Hill show. But it wasn't. The Bills went into Miami last night and defeated the Dolphins soundly 31-10. 31-10. I'll say that one more time as the score is across your screen. The Bills 31, the Dolphins 10. Now, Josh Allen is not a quarterback to be sleeping on. But a lot of people would say, you know, James Cook, he's one of the best running backs in the league, one of the better running backs in the league, but didn't expect him to have the game he had last night. Let's get into it. Our scoring summary from Thursday night football. 9 minutes, 49 seconds left in the game in the first quarter. Sorry, not the game, the first quarter. 9 minutes, 49 seconds left in the first quarter. The Bills struck first. A 17-yard touchdown catch by guess who? The running back, James Cook. Josh Allen tosses the ball out to him into the flats, and James Cook took off running 17 yards into the end zone early in the first quarter for the Bills to go up 7-0. But the Dolphins did not wait long to retaliate. 6 minutes and 28 seconds into their drive, a 6-yard touchdown catch by their running back, Devon Achane. Raheem Mostert out, did not play, so Achane took over this game as the running back for the Dolphins. 6-yard touchdown catch for Achane ties the game up 7-7. But later on, going into the second quarter, with 12 minutes, 41 seconds left, the Bills struck again. This time, a 43-yard field goal by Tyler Bass to put the Bills up 10-7. Let's get into it later on. About 6.5 minutes later, the Bills have the ball again, and they get down into Dolphins territory, deep into Dolphins territory. Let's just say they were on the 1-yard line. And who but James Cook. Mr. James Cook, the running back, ran the ball in for 1 yard, putting the Bills up 17-7. But he did not stop there. About 3.5 minutes later, maybe a little less, 3.5 minutes later, James Cook, 49-yard run for a touchdown. He found an opening and he took off, and that put the Bills up 24-7. With about 4 seconds left, the Dolphins get down inside the 40-yard line of the Bills, and they kick a 34-yard field goal. Jason Sanders makes a 34-yard field goal to put the score 24-10, and that was our halftime score. Now you're thinking, you know what, the Dolphins are only down 10. They had a battle last week against the Jaguars, almost similar to this. Now we're going to get more into that game this Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rivet City Red Zone right here on Rivet City Radio's Twitch, off the Top Media's YouTube channel. Come check it out as we talk about and recap Week 1. We will be recapping the Dolphins and the Jaguars. But coming out of halftime, the Dolphins, they had a chance to come back. But the Bills, with 9 minutes and 27 seconds left in the third quarter, Jamarcus Ingram intercepts the ball and runs it back 31 yards to put the Bills up 31-10. And that would become our final score, 31-10. The Dolphins, late into the third quarter, Tua Tagovailoa was trying to drive, and as he was running for a first down, instead of sliding, went headfirst into Damar Hamlin, collided with Damar Hamlin, and pretty much knocked himself out. And he went into concussion protocol. Now, we all know the concussion issues that Tua has had back in 2022. It wasn't pretty. It was a bad time for him. And when he ran into Damar Hamlin and laid on that ground, it was a scary moment. Scary moment. Now, I will say this. I don't blame this hit on Damar Hamlin because it almost looked like Damar Hamlin was trying to stop him, trying to kind of hold him up in a sense. Go back, look at that replay, and you'll see what I mean. Damar Hamlin looked like he was kind of trying to lift him up. Tua should have went feet first, should have slid properly, but instead he went head first and collided with Damar Hamlin, and a scary moment for the Dolphins quarterback. Went into concussion protocol, got ruled out for the rest of the game, and that was Tua Tagovailoa's night. And thus ending the night for the Dolphins because they could not get any offense going after that. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, Tyreek Hill. Last week had a huge day after a not so pleasant morning going into the stadium. And then this week completely shut down. Completely shut down. He only had one catch for 12 yards. And that was it. So if you had Tyreek Hill on your fantasy team, it was a sad night for you fantasy players. For you Dolphin fans, even a sadder night. But the Bills end up winning 31-10. My player of the game. Now, you guys know I started doing this season. Last week, I picked my players of the game for Thursday night, for Monday night, and I picked my player of the week. I'll be doing that yet again this week. My player of the game. I can only pick one player this week. And that is one James Cook, running back of the Bills. 11 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 catch for 17 yards and 1 touchdown. He was my player of the game. So the Bills are 2-0. The Dolphins 1-1. Right now, the Bills sit on top of the AFC East. Now, I will say this. I was excited for this game tonight. I really was. And for the Dolphins, they have a lot to clean up. They have to go back to the drawing board. Hopefully, Tua's okay. Hopefully, Tua will be back next week and will be healthy enough to play, to get out of concussion protocol and be able to play. But this was a bad night for the Dolphins. I expected a lot more from this game on both sides, but obviously we only got one-sided, and that was for the Bills. So congratulations to the Bills for being 2-0. They are in first place of the AFC East right now. And one of the only undefeated teams left. We have a couple other undefeated teams left that will end up losing games this week, and we're going to probably break down to about 10 teams left by the end of week 2. Maybe a little more, but the Bills are on that list. Now, week 2 is coming up this Sunday and Monday. Now, we got some pretty notable matchups. Matchups we will be talking about this week on Rivet City Red Zone. This week's set of games, the 49ers and the Vikings. The Seahawks face the Patriots. The Giants play the Commanders. The Chargers play the Panthers. The Saints play the Cowboys. The Colts play the Packers. The Browns play the Jaguars. The Jets play the Titans. The Buccaneers play the Lions. The Raiders play the Ravens. And then on the 4 o'clock set of games, the Rams play the Cardinals. The Bengals play the Chiefs. The Steelers play the Broncos. On Sunday Night Football, the Bears play the Texans. And on Monday night, we got the Falcons and the Eagles. So please come by on Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself and this week, Mr. MJ Duplessis himself, Mike, will be joining me as my co-host for Rivet City Red Zone this Sunday. To get into some college football talk real quick, coming up on Saturday, we got some pretty big matchups now. We went down the top 25 last week, and since then the top 25 has come out. Now, I believe I did announce the top 25 on an earlier episode of Rivet City Red Zone's Halftime Heat, and I looked at the schedule of the top 25, and we got 2 key matchups for the rankings this week. The first one is number 24, Boston College, heading to number 6, Missouri, and number 20, Arizona, heading to number 14, Kansas State. Now, could there possibly be an upset or two? Maybe. We'll have to see, but some big matchups coming up in the world of college football. Number 4, Alabama, is heading to Wisconsin to take on Wisconsin. Number 5, Ole Miss, is heading out to Wake Forest. We got Oregon heading out to Oregon State. An interstate matchup, Oregon taking on Oregon State, number 9, Oregon. We also got number 10, Miami, taking on Ball State. We got number 12, Utah, taking on Utah State. A couple teams on bye weeks this week. We got Ohio State, number 3, number 8, Penn State, number 11, USC, number 19, Louisville, number 21, Iowa State, and number 22, Clemson, and number 25, Northern Illinois. All on bye weeks this week. So we will also be talking about these college football matchups on Sunday on Rivet City Red Zone. So come check us out, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Rivet City Radio and Off the Top Media, with myself and my special guest co-host, Mr. MJ Duplessis himself, Mike. Well, guys, that is it for another episode of Rivet City Red Zone's Halftime Heat. Talked about Thursday Night Football, talked about some college football real quick. As I always say to everybody, football is a really great sport. I love football, and I love talking football. I think football is, if not the greatest sport in the world. And the season is young and just getting started. And I am excited. Very, very excited. So before we get out of here, I want to let everybody know one more time, head over to Rivet City Radio and Off the Top Media's Twitch and YouTube channels. Hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on. Check out all the great content going on throughout the week. On Monday nights at 11:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after Monday Night Raw, is the Table Spot. On Tuesday at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, check out Nerdy News. And then later on at about 10:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after NXT, is NXT on tap. On Wednesday, we got the Boom right after AEW Dynamite at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Thursday, another episode of Nerdy News at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then later on that night, Boss Bitch Trivia. Friday night, we got Friday Night Review after SmackDown at about 10:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Sunday, we got Rivet City Red Zone at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by Bot Spots and Chair Shots at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got a whole slate of content for you guys to watch. So make sure you're following, subscriing, and turning those notifications on. Also, patreon.com/Rivet City Radio. Check out all the great content going on throughout the Patreon. I promise you will not be disappointed, and it will not break your bank. Guys, that is it for another episode of Rivet City Red Zone's Halftime Heat. My name is Metal Mike, and as I always say, be good to each other, be kind to each other, take care of each other, be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. I'm Metal Mike. This has been Rivet City Red Zone's Halftime Heat.